this is AnMet, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we're going to be looking into the 14th episode of the 3rd season of The Muppet Show, which features Harry Belafonte. And this guy is a little bit recognizable for anybody, but is absolutely recognizable in his own genre, since this guy is considered the king of Calypso, which is Caribbean-style music, by the way. Chances are you might have heard some of his music whenever you would go on vacation in Central America or somewhere in the Caribbean. But also, at the same time, one song that chances are you've definitely heard of before is the Banana Boat song, where, like, you might recognize it more with, rather it be from the lyrics like Deo or Daylight Come and Me Wanna Go Home. That's the song I'm talking about. But anyways, going back to Harry Belafonte, he has been a prominent figure in the entertainment industry in general, not only winning 3 Grammy Awards, one of which being a Lifetime Achievement Award. He also got an Emmy and a Tony Award, and at the same time, he technically did get an Oscar, but it's not really for the main categories, it's mostly for the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award. At the same time, not only is he a singer and an actor, but he is also known to be an activist, and it has been quite a while since he has been one. It's always been in his heart to be a massive activist, so much so that even back in the 60s, he was seen side by side with Martin Luther King Jr., so it's really up to that degree that he has always been known as a major activist and left such a huge impact in the world, whether it be through entertainment or through what he really does care about and would go and pursue in his activist ways to go and make the world a bit better. So that's basically the whole thing with Harry Belafonte, and when he was on The Muppet Show, you can absolutely tell that this dude is just having a blast with it. And in the episode itself, I just gotta start off by saying probably the best aspect of the show, or at least one of the best aspects, is hands down with Fozzie Bear, because in here, Fozzie really wants to be the script writer. Like, he wants to now provide the script and give new material to Kermit and some of the other Muppets as well, so he's starting to write the script. And I gotta say, what ends up happening is just absolutely hilarious, and the material that we're given is some of the highlights of just Kermit interacting with Fozzie, especially the opening. Oh my god, this is one of the best openings to The Muppet Show ever. And when I mean openings, I don't just mean the musical number, but it's more about, like, just the opening, like when Kermit comes in and introduces everybody to The Muppet Show. That is just absolutely hilarious. When Kermit just opens up with the script saying Leggies and genglefins. It's just beautiful, and you see the chemistry between Kermit and Fozzie. It just works so beautifully. Definitely, like, just that moment alone is the highlight. It's one of the highlights of the entire season. It is absolutely hilarious, well paced, definitely great. Oh my god, it's absolutely one of the funniest moments. And it's like I said before, Kermit and Fozzie are an amazing comedic duo. It works so well, and this is one of the great examples of that. But at the same time, we also see several different moments with Fozzie, whether it be when he would have writer's block, or technically writer's block, when his tie would get stuck in the typewriter. And there are a few aspects when we would see Fozzie having a little bit of difficulties being the writer for The Muppet Show. But then there is another great highlight onto this episode, and that would actually be Harry Belafonte himself. This is one of those episodes that, even though Harry Belafonte doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the story itself, like, his part doesn't necessarily tie in with the whole Fozzie being a writer kind of thing, but Harry Belafonte is very well presented in his episode, seeing many of his different talents, and what is actually very interesting is that he actually demanded that in this episode specifically that we kind of take a little bit of a trip around the world, so we don't just have a bit of Calypso, but we do have a little bit of Africa in there at the same time. It actually starts out with Harry Belafonte singing his signature song, the Banana Boat song, while at the same time, actually Fozzie does come in, not necessarily as the writer, but he wants to make sure that everything goes so right into this, and he wants to bring in atmosphere into it, rather it be like backup singers with the pigs, or bringing Beauregard to go fetch bananas for the Banana Boat song, or just like understanding the lyrics in general. It's definitely nice, like a great moment in itself, but it does add a bit of some nice comedic flair with Fozzie. While at the same time, he doesn't just sing, but also, the other time that we would see Harry Belafonte is that he actually did a drum duet with Animal, where he's kind of in the classical kind of drums, like the kind in Africa, like you got this giant drum and like all you do is just bang on it, and then like you got Animal being like in his like the new generation of a drum set. Well, not electrical drum set, but you guys know what I mean. It's like the really old versus the new, and you actually do get this great mixture, and it works out really well, and it's a really fun number. And I would even say this could probably be a highlight with Animal as well, or just like Animal interacting with a special guest star. Definitely a lot of fun there. And one more number that he did appear was actually right at the end, and this actually does make it stand out as a finale, as much as the opening was something like really special and it really does stand out, is when Harry Belafonte would sing the song Turn the World Around, where it's this African song about how the world basically works, and it really is a nice song, and the entire setting is really fantastic, especially when they brought in the African style Muppets. That is actually really cool, and it really does bring in the atmosphere of the entire song. Like, it brings in this entire new layer, and apparently the song was actually really good that the Muppets kept on continuing. This is one of the very rare moments in which they don't really play the standard closing number. Instead, they just continued with just singing, "Whoa, so is life about you, so is life." Like, they just kept on repeating that, and like, you just see the credits come up, Statler and Waldorf are even singing it, and like, it just ends off there. Like, the only sign that we would see that it is the Muppet Show onto the, like, that little closing number is right at the end when Gonzo would come in with the trumpet doing that little riff on like the Muppet Show, like it's like you know, that little thing. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun whenever Harry Belafonte would be on screen. However, like, as amazing as those little bits are, there are a few moments that, well, honestly, they don't necessarily work as well as the rest of the episode, and that's mostly with the sketches that don't necessarily connect with any of the other moments, rather it be with the Fozzie Bear storyline or with Harry Belafonte. In fact, a lot of them, they feel like they're kind of rushed. Like, some of these segments, they would have worked, but it's just something isn't fully right with it. Like, a best example would be that New Zealand and Rolf would sing T for Two backwards, but that just goes by so quickly. And then there's another one, it was Pigs in Space, and Strange Pork actually made this machine where you could pretty much dissolve something and then just reappear on another, like in another place, and things got so screwed up that you just see people switching bodies. And even at that, like the previous one with the T for Two bit, it just goes by so quickly that you're not really sure about what just happened there. And I think another one that occurred, like, there are a few other ones that don't necessarily work as well. Like, you got Floyd and Zoot performing a song called Honeysuckle Rose, and during the whole time it's just Floyd on the bass and Zoot on the saxophone, and during the whole time they want to add this little bit of comedy with a bee just flying around, but it's just not strong enough to make it like a good comedic bit. Like, they want to try to do something funny, but honestly, they could have just dropped that little B and just have it be Zoot and Floyd. I mean, they've already done that before. They don't need to add comedy into everything. And, like, it has happened before when it's just like, only a few members of the Electric Mayhem just performing a song, and that's it. It would have worked that way. And also, there is another one, which is it's Muppet Sports, actually. And what it is, it's what they tried to do is blindfold sprinting, which is pretty much runners who can't really see a thing because they're blindfolded. And, like, I kind of get what they want to do, but it kind of makes me think about, I forgot what the skit is called specifically, but it kind of reminds me of the stupid Olympics in Monty Python's Flying Circus, and I absolutely love that skit, but in there, it's performed absolutely much better than this. And I feel like with Muppet Sports, and especially with the sprinting skit, it feels like it's trying to copy it in a way, and honestly, it's not that strong. It doesn't work as well. So I would say, overall, if it weren't for those little skits that don't have to do with anything and they don't necessarily work as well, this could have been one of the best episodes, not only of the season, but of the entire show even. It's just fantastic because the elements that do work in this episode, they work extremely well. Rather it be Fozzie Bear being the script writer, it's just absolutely hilarious. A great highlight of Fozzie Bear in the show, seeing his character and how he is trying to be funny for the sake of the show. Or a fantastic use of the special guest star, seeing Harry Belafonte pretty much doing what he does best, rather it be singing the Banana Boat song, the drum duet with Animal, or singing the song Turn the World Around. That was actually a lot of fun. So the elements that really do work, they work beautifully. Which is a bit of a disappointment when the other ones, like, some kind of work, some really don't. Like, when those elements would come in, it's a bit of a disappointment because it's kind of holding back of what the episode could have really been. And honestly, like I said before, if it weren't for those little aspects over there, this could have been one of the best episodes of the entire series. And that's why I feel a little bit disappointed, but either way, I'm still really happy with what I've gotten in terms of the stuff that actually did go right, whether it be with Fozzie or Harry Belafonte. So it still is worth watching for those aspects. But anyways, that is pretty much it, and we'll see what else Fozzie can think up with his crazy shenanigans in order to improve the show either way. So I just want to say thank you to all of you Leggies and genglefins, and until next time, see you later, dudes!